Hi dear students, welcome you all on the behalf of RahulAnand tutorials. So as you know that I am RahulAnand and this is somewhat around my channel whose name is actually the RahulAnand tutorial. So now let's start with a very interesting topic which are often being asked in terms of your Neet of in the aims. Now, so these are literally belonging from which of the chapters of your book? So these are belonging from the principle of inheritance. Find here. Now, so let's try to discover about the Mendel case in which why does the Mendel selected the pea plant. So what was actually its reason? Fine. So primarily when I am talking about the pea plant, what does it actually mean? So it was what? So it was the edible pea, not what? Not the sweet pea. Find here. Not the sweet pea. Often these pea plants are literally belonging from which of the family? Which family? So these are belonging from the Fabaceae family. Fine. So these are literally present all over the world. In the Fabaceae family plant. So now, what is actually the Mendel selected the pea plant for his experiment? So these are what? So these pea plants are literally the neutral day plant. Often these are having the high seed germinating qualities. Find here. Often the third point, very interesting. So these are having the short lifespan of around how much? Of around 45 days. Now, in this case of the what? Of the pea plant. So these play important role as well as favor the self-pollination process. So what are actually the pollination? So the wonderful process of what? Of the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. It will be coming under what? So it will be coming under the pollination. Means what? The wonderful process of transfer of pollen grain from what? From the anther to stigma. Fine. So we are having the two different terms as well as the types in it. Means what? Means the self-pollination, often the cross-pollination. So what are actually the self-pollination? By the name it is very clear. So when the stigma as well as anther will be present where? So it will be present in the same plant. So assume that it is the plant and it is having the flowers. So either the flower will be having both the male and female reproductive organs, such as what? Mean the anther as well as the stigma. So primarily when I am talking about these, so here anther representing what? Anther representing the male reproductive part or either the organ. With reference when we are talking about the female reproductive organ, it will be what? So it will be actually the stigma. Fine. So either the flower which is being localized into the same plant or either what? Or either the two different flowers localized within the same plant. It will be coming under what? It will be coming under the process of the self-pollination. And you know well. So it will be having the pollen grains. Okay. Often as well as it is having the male reproductive part. Such as what? Such as the anther. Often the female stigma. Literally, when I am talking about the cross-pollination, the case is quite a bit different. Means what? The pollination will occur between what? Will occur between the two different plants. Actually between the flower, but which are localized, mean the flowers are localized where? So these will be localized into the two different plant. Now, so when we are talking about these pea plant, so nature play important role as well as favor what? Actually favor the self-pollination process. Now, so let's try to discover what are actually the characteristics on the basis of the appearances which played an important role to decide Mendel why should he choose the pea plant. So these are what? So these are the color here, color of flower, then what? Then the shape of flower, often the size of flower, then what? Then the seed germinating qualities. Fine. Now when we are talking about the cross pollination, in this case of the pea plant, so it will be doing what? So it will be favoring the cross pollination, but the case is quite different. So the natural will be not employed, result in which the artificial cross pollination will be employed. Find here. The artificial cross pollination is possible in the pea plant actually. So now, in this case, when we are talking about the different experiment done by the Mendel, so there was literally about 7 to 8. So there was actually about 7 experiments done by the Mendel. It was what? Can you tell me? So it was actually the monohybrid cross, then the dihybrid cross, then what? Then the polyhybrid cross. So literally, let's understand about the monohybrid cross here. Fine. So monohybrid cross. So it is what? So when the cross which will occur between the organism which are belonging from the different trait, it will be coming under what? So it will be coming under the monohybrid cross. Find it here. So when the cross which will occur between the organism which differ in the trait, or either which differ in one trait, it will be coming under white flower, then the plant with the white flower. Fine. So now let's try to mismanage as well as understand these elaborating formulas. So fine. So when we particularly cross these, means what? The flower which is bearing the red flower as well as the plant which is bearing the white flower. So let's try to understand what will be occurring in this case. So what will occur? Find here. So here is the case. So in the F1 generation, all the plants which will be produced, so it will be what? So it will be the red in color here. So it will be red in color. Why is it so? So this is due to because of the self-pollination. And you know well, what are actually the self-pollination? Fine. In the pollination occurring between the anther and stigma, or either the transfer of anther and stigma between the flower, which are localized where? Either between the same flower or either between the two flowers localized within the same plant. Now, so in the F1 generation, you understand that the all plants which will be produced, so it will be what? So it will be actually red in color. All plants flower will be actually resembling the color with reference to the red in nature. Now, so let's proceed with reference to the second one here. So when we try to discover with reference to the second case in terms of the result of the F2 generation, what do we actually get? So there will be around 25% which will be produced. It will be what? So it will be actually the pure red. But when we literally shift on the second with reference to the another 25, it could be what? So it could be red in color as well as what? As well as white in color. Thus here we are denoting what? So thus here we are calling it as at the what? The hybrid red in color. Fine. Means what? The pure red will be 25%. Then the hybrid red will be around 50%. Find here. Then what? Then the third case. So it will be actually what? So it will be actually the pure white in color. Means what? Around 25% in nature. So primarily, when we are talking about the ratio, comparing these equations of the cross in the F2 generation, it will be what? It will be around 25% is to 50%, then is to 25% again. So this is around your ratio. So I thought you have got the concept. What are actually these? Means what? Means what has Mendel actually selected the pea plant for his experiment? Often what are the different types of the cross which was being given by the Mendel experiment? So they are literally 7, in which we are having the monohybrid cross, the dihybrid cross, then the polyhybrid cross, or rather the trihybrid cross. Fine. So we have dealt about the monohybrid cross. So if you like the work with reference to the education, open the lecture. So you could open subscribe, like, as well as comment below in the text. Thus I will be knowing that what concept actually you are hungry for, or what haven't you understood or either got. So very thank you with reference to the RahulAnand tutorials. Very thank you.